Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a yacht. And sailing in a yacht makes me happy. You can do the math. There's nothing to unclutter your mind than getting away in an open expanse of ocean. It's a complete change of perspective. And if you're sailing in a yacht like this one, then adventure is just matter of course. A yacht is a recreational boat. The term originated from the Dutch word meaning hunt. It was originally defined as a light, fast sailing vessel used by the Dutch Navy to pursue pirates and other transgressors around and into the shallow waters of the Low Countries. Evolution, as they say, has made the yacht a luxury from a necessity. Yacht lengths generally range from 27 feet up to hundreds of feet. A luxury craft smaller than 40 feet is more commonly called a cabin cruiser or simply cruisers. A mega yacht generally refers to any yacht above 100 feet, and a super yacht generally refers to any yacht over 200 feet. Many different kinds of yachts, many options. But before you set out to sea, there is a certain amount of sailing expertise that you have to have. And I'm in good hands today because I'm sailing with Shakil. Hi Shakil, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So along with being the man behind Aquasail, Shakil is also the first Indian ever to win a gold on international waters in sailing. How long have you been sailing for?
Well, from the age of 10, which is almost 4 decades now.
My God, that's a lot of expertise handling this boat today.
Yes, I think I've spent almost all my life on the water, every bit of holiday, every bit of time. And these waters are known with the back of my hand here.
What a life that is. So tell me, Shakil, this particular boat, what type of a yacht is it?
Well, this is an ocean-going yacht. Therefore, it can go out to sea for extended durations. It can be out on the water, crossing an ocean for over a couple of weeks.
My God, sounds so exciting. So tell me, is it only a sailing boat or do you also back it up with a motor engine?
The engines are largely used to be able to go out of the harbour and enter harbour, and maybe when the wind is very light and you need to use it a bit. But you don't need an engine to really sail this boat.
So sailing is relatively new in India, or say sailing gaining the kind of popularity that is new. So when you bring the sailboat to the country, do you make changes to it? Have you customized it to suit the country's needs?
Yes, each boat has a specialization. This is of course a holiday boat. It's a Grand Leopard, which is the foremost holiday brand in the world. And so there are a lot of customization we have done even for India in terms of we have put a solar panels. Because here the sun is there and we can use those to charge the batteries. And the lack of infrastructure, like no marinas, where you don't have any shore power, these are some of the things you need to do to make it independently handle the boats.
Okay, so say you've got the boat, and if a person wanted to set out and be a sailor, how long would it be before I could set sail?
Well, you need about 20 to 25 hours of sailing to be able to take a boat out yourself independently.
Oh, great. So I can actually clock that in, say, a week?
Well, you can clock it in a week, but long-term learning sets in with a little bit of gaps in between, the courses you do. Yeah.
Okay, so that's sailing as a sport, but, we're talking about sailing as a lifestyle as well. And for you, of course, it has been literally a lifestyle. What do you make of that?
Well, most people use sailing as probably adventure or as a sport. So there are different facets to it. Holiday lifestyle like this boat, it's a platform, it's a very big platform. It has got everything you need. Families can spend time. For example, you could go to Lakshadweep for a diving holiday and you don't really need anybody. You can yourself sail it from here and enjoy the entire holiday living on the boat.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. And I believe that apart from living on a boat and taking a holiday, you could also find true love, isn't it?
Well, I did. Sailing has been, it's been a lot of things for me, and one is, of course, I met my wife because of sailing.
How lovely.
So it was some years ago. I had just started sailing, and of course, I met Shakil at various sailing events and was fascinated by what he'd achieved. And one day, Shakil, we've all heard about romance on the sea, and it actually happened to me. I just can't believe it yet.
Love is in the air and we're far out at sea, but there's a lot going on behind the wheel to keep this fairy tale afloat. So I'm going to take some time to talk technology with the captain. Hi.
Hello. Welcome on board.
Thank you. So this is Captain Oscar.
Hello.
And this is his throne where he pilots this craft from.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me share it for a while.
That's my pleasure.
So that's a really interesting big gadget out there. What is it?
That's called the electronical chart. This is the GPS location of our boat, as well as the other objects on the sea. So what we do basically is, according to the course to steer, we set our course onto this electronical chart. And then we track our position on the Earth according to the positions that we want to go to.
Okay, so it's a GPS except it's global and for the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the 3 dials in front over here?
Those are what we call the tri-data. This is the depth, our speed over ground, and the heading.
Okay.
This is.
So this is ocean depth under the boat?
Yeah, that's the depth underneath the water level of our boat.
Okay, so it tells me the depth of the ocean where I am?
Exactly.
So you've got a radar or a sonar underneath?
There's a solar system. It sends the echo signals to the seabed and then picks them back up, so it calculates, it measures the distance between us and the seabed.
Cool. Okay, so we're 33.6 feet deep right now?
Exactly.
Okay, well, that sounds safe now.
That is good enough again.
And that over there?
That is the wind indicator.
Okay.
We have a wind indicator at the top of the mast, and then it goes to show the strength of the wind and also the direction of the wind.
Which is one of your most important monitors on a sailboat?
Exactly. Because this is a sailboat, we really want to know where the wind comes from, so that we set our sails accordingly and we make the speed, we set the optimum speed according to this gauge.
So the old weather vane with a cockadoodle is out, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's what we graduated to.
Exactly.
And that's a very fancy looking compass.
Yeah, it's our compass. We have an electronical compass as well as a mechanical one, and this is always a good idea to have more than a few compasses on a boat, because this is designed for long trips. It actually came all the way from Cape Town.
Okay.
So it's really a good idea not to have only one compass. So we have a digital one and as well as a mechanical one. That's that one.
Cool. And that over there is the autopilot, right?
Exactly. That's my coolest thing. I really like pushing this on and off. You know, when you're busy doing something else, you just push the button and then it controls the boat, and then it sails the boat according to the direction, according to the heading that you put onto the autopilot, so that you can deal with other things on the boat.
Okay, so do you actually feed in your course every time you're heading out? Do you manually have to feed it in for it to take on autopilot, or it's an automated sort of setting?
It depends on your decision. If you know where you want to go, then what you can do actually, you can set the course, feed in the data according to your waypoints. For example, you want to go to Mandawar and then to Elefante afterwards. So the heading towards Mandawar is something like 145 degrees. So I put 145, and then I calculate the distance. So it takes me to Mandawar in say 10 miles. And then after 10 miles I can set this up to turn my heading towards the Elefante, so I can do that. Or alternatively, I can just manually set the course and push auto, and then it will take me to the course that I've set manually on the helm station.
So it will take the readings from your manual course and then set themselves.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I just need to steer it right and then turn auto and it'll just keep me going right.
That's it, exactly.
Okay, that's a neat little gadget.
It is.
Let's work.
We also have those electronical winches. What we do is, in order to hoist a sail, for example, we turn it around the winch,
Right.
and then there is this nice button again that you need to use your toe. So if you push it, it automatically starts spinning, and once it's spinning, then it pulls the rope. So it's pretty nice and easy.
Oh, well, so you're on a sailboat, but you're not really dealing with any of the, the ropes and trying to get out of the way because the mast is going to come swinging. It's all electronic now.
Exactly.
And this, of course, is your wheel, right?
Yep, that's the steering wheel.
And these gears right here?
Those are my gears, my throttles, Those are my engines. I've got one engine on the port, one engine on the starboard, and those are independently controlled from those handles. If you push it forward, the boat goes forward. This is on neutral, and it goes backwards. So this is easy as this.
Okay, so I've listened to everything you've said very intently.
Okay.
Do you think you trust me enough to leave me with the wheel for a while?
Well, we shall see.
Oh,
Why
yeah?
don't you give it a go?
Okay.
Okay, it's yours.
Thank you. And I know he hasn't pressed the autopilot. So this is all me. So sailing is obviously not all fun and games, at least not for the guys behind the wheel manning all of this gadgetry. But thanks to them, for you and me at least, it's fair weather all the way. So sit back, relax, and take a look at the game of the week.
Mass Effect 2 finally launched on the PS3 after almost a year. On one hand, it's a third-person shooter, and on the other, it's an RPG.
One man might be all that stands between humanity and the greatest threat of our breed.
BioWare has brilliantly blended together these genres and influences to craft an experience that's not only much better than the admittedly fantastic original Mass Effect, but also better than virtually all of the other like-minded games in the market today.
Hear that sound? Can you tell what it is? It's the kind of sound that can prickle the hair on the nape of your neck. It's like that car poster you had on your bedroom wall in school just came alive. It's the beautiful, gorgeous sound of a thoroughbred sportster. The Nissan 370Z, or the Fair Lady as it's called in Japan, is Nissan's 6th generation Z car. Its closest on-road rival is the Porsche Cayman, and this time Nissan has gone all out to close the gap between the two cars. However, the question must be asked, why a 6th generation sports car that challenges the Porsche Cayman is still relatively unknown. The Nissan Z car originally started out as a roadster and first became a Ferrari-style sports car in 1969 and then turned into a luxury grand tourer. In 1989, it turned its game around again and became one of the most successful high-performance sports cars, challenging Porsche. 12 years later, it was stripped down to the mean two-seater Nissan 350Z, the most recognizable predecessor of the current 370Z. Because of the frequent changes in its form and character, brand recall of the Z car as a thoroughbred sportster is still relatively low, but that doesn't take away from its performance or its styling. On the outside, the 370Z is not a very big jump from its predecessor, but look closely and you'll see plenty of refinement. The muscular profile has more surface tension in its contours, giving it an edgier, more aggressive personality. The flanks are more pronounced to cover the wider tracks, and the roofline slopes downward from the A-pillar to merge with the tail. The striking boomerang headlamps and tail lights complete the change. More than in any other type of car, the driver's seat in a Sportster gets the maximum attention. This is the point of contact between the man and the machine, and it's appropriately kitted out. The triple meter cluster is iconic and it continues. Along with the usual suspects, you have time, wattage and oil temperature meters. The seats are done up in soft leather and afford for a very plush, expensive feel. And these leather knee pads on the driver and passenger sides are a neat little extra. The multi-information display, which is handily set right bang in the center of the steering wheel, tells you your average fuel consumption, your available cruising distance and other maintenance information. However, there are some small signs of cost cutting, like part of the controls on the seat adjustment are still manual. That could be a dampener for some people, but it doesn't really bother me when I'm driving. About that price then. Since its launch, the 370Z has actually scored internationally for delivering a Porsche-like performance for nearly half the price. In India, however, the car is being imported as a CBU or completely built unit, and thus hefty import taxes weigh down its price to an expensive 53.5 or 45.5 lakh. I have to warn you, my producer has told me about the speed limit only about 100 times, so please consider the message passed on. The Nissan 370Z is available with two variants and an option of both manual and automatic transmission. Both variants of the Nissan will be powered by a 3.7-litre V6 powerhouse, which can produce 332 bhp of maximum power at 7,000 rpm with a 365 Nm of maximum torque at 5,200 rpm. Continuous variable valve timing control system with variable valve event and lift technology on intake valves delivers excellent engine performance and power. The driving performance of the car has been enhanced with a host of changes. With a lower wheelbase and a wider tread, the new chassis of the 370Z is lower and also broader, making it more responsive and agile on the roads. It has also helped lower the overall center of gravity, giving it a sticky, strong grip on the roads. Add to that a weight reduction of 110 kgs, along with higher levels of power and torque, which give it excellent acceleration and engine performance, making the Nissan 370Z capable of going from 0 to 100 km per hour in less than 7 seconds. You know, there's one thing about driving this car though. It just seems unfair that I should have to wait for anyone. It makes you feel like you have right of way. Out of my way, buddy. You know, I get really worried every time I come to a speed breaker because I think we might get stuck. The center of gravity in this car is so low that it actually molds itself to the road. So turns or twists don't really bother you at all. With excellent critical reviews from around the world, the 370Z is gaining on the Porsche Cayman, but it hasn't quite made it just yet. So while I decide whether it's time for me to ignore that speed limit, you take a look at the new launches this week.
Logitech released 3 new gamepads that'll help gamers have a console-like experience on their PCs. Gamepad F310, the Logitech Rumble Gamepad F510 and the Logitech Wireless Gamepad F510. They all feature direct input and X input support and have customizable configurations. They should work with most PC games, but if they don't, the Logitech Profiler software will let you use them by emulating keyboard and mouse controls, much like how Xpadder does it. Third Best, a book by debutant novelist Arun Rao, revolves around a teenage protagonist Nirvana, his 3 friends, and the years they spend at their co-ed boarding school, Shore Mount. This one is a must for everyone who has been to a boarding school.